Hey guys, got a little range day going here. I'm doing a comparison video slash overview of multiple AR15 alternatives. These are all non-restricted in Canada. They all take AR15 magazines, 5.56, 223 ammo, and we can carry these most of the year as long as we have a varmint license, at least here in New Brunswick. And just wanted to bring you guys some good detail, get some trigger time in. Got about 1,000 rounds we're going to go through here today amongst the guns. A few other guns too. Going to do some shooting for some other videos. Bow Hunter NB, a subscriber of mine, has been greatly helpful in arranging some of these. We've got a Tavor, we've got a Benelli MR1, and we've got two Norinco T97s, one being the original with the carry handle, one with a flat top, multiple optics. So we've got some Trigicon, Leopold, Hollow Sun, just some different stuff. So we're going to try some different mags, different ammo, different situations, and see how these things do. So stick with me. I'll do some, again, some shooting video, then we'll get back and do some tabletop discussion on it, and I hope you like the video. Maybe not. There we go. Ready?
Yep.
I don't know how well you guys are going to see it. I'm going to eject this magazine. This T97 was having a real hard time loading rounds. It essentially took a, how well you can see down in there with the sun. Took a shell apart. I don't know where the slug is, but the casing came out with a whole bunch of unburnt ammo, and it mashed up the front of it pretty hard. Well, there's oh, look at that! It pushed the slug into the casing. So that's a problem. And we've got a pin here. I don't know if this is from this gun. Many people use this range. It could be from something different. Well, we're going to put this down for a bit and find out what's going on with it. I forgot this one doesn't cycle at all. Alright guys, we've had some troubles with the Norinco T97s, and I think I found the trouble on one of them. You can see here, up by the piston, we've got another coiled spring. This one cycles. This T97 isn't cycling, and I think you can see why. The spring is all jammed up and out of the channel, out of the tube. So again, that's what the one that does not seem to be cycling at all. This is single shot only at the moment. And this is what it should look like. Just doing a little troubleshooting, trying to narrow down the cause of the problem on the T97. This one in particular. That appears to be it. Alright guys, we're just going to do some testing on different mags. We've got, not that you're usually going to put this in another gun, but it does fit, so we're going to use the Benelli MR1 mag in everything. We've got just a GI mag. We're going to run through everything. We have an Elander. We have a Hera Arms mag. Sorry, P-mag. And a Hera Arms mag. So we're going to try them all in all of the guns, see what likes what. We'll go from there. So I'm going to start off with the MR1. Pretty safe to say it's going to handle this mag fine because it came with it, but I want to shoot it anyway, so go with that. As expected, runs through that fine. Just a P-mag. It's a Gen 3. Hera mag. This is an Elander steel mag. Which it seems to have had a little trouble with. I have never seen this before today, but twice today we've had rounds push the slug back into the casing. Happened on a T97, and we just had it happen on this MR1. That was with the Elander mag that happened. Put that down over here, and we're just going to try the old GI mag. Now it's worth mentioning these are hollow points. These are training rounds from the local police department. They're steel cased hollow points. And maybe the feed ramp, it's not liking that. That's why it's jamming up on. I'm just guessing. It might not be the case, but. Tried to put the second round through, and it seems to have gotten all cockeyed in the feed area. And now I've got it double feeding. Alright, so first response, or my first thought is the Benelli might not like the GI mags too much, or it could be the ammo. I'm kind of leaning towards the ammo. Alright guys, so we're trying to eliminate the cause of the problem here on the MR1. It's either the metal mags that it doesn't like, or we were using steel cased hollow points, which I'll just show you real quick. I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well, but the tip of each of the hollow points is mangled. So it's obviously catching somewhere in the feed ramp. So we've got some full metal jacket, just Winchester ammo here we're going to try with the same mag we were having trouble with. So let's see what this does. It helps if you put the mag in the gun. Seems to like that just fine. These are hollow points again in the old GI mag. And it doesn't like them. I'm going to go with the hollow point as the problem. Something's catching in there. Clear. And as I tried to chamber that round, it marred up the front end of the hollow point. Obviously, if you were using a hunting round, you're probably going to have a plastic tip, even if it is hollow point. You're going to have one of those polymer tips or devices for evenly spreading the bullet. So it's not going to catch on something, but there is something in the front end or in the chamber of the MR1 that doesn't seem to like these cheap rounds. So I'll go with that. Great. All right, guys, we're going to try the Tavor with all 5 mags that we're running today and see how it does. So again, you're not usually going to find a Benelli MR1 mag that you're going to buy for another gun. They're kind of proprietary. They're not proprietary, don't get me wrong. This is almost like an AR15 pistol mag, but it only will take 5 rounds. It's just got this base plate that doesn't really function on most other guns. But as you can see, it goes in just fine into the Tavor. So let's give her a shot. Functions just fine. Let's try a GI mag. No problem there. AR15 mag. Elander. And this is the PMag Gen 3. trouble's there. She's hot. Alright guys, so I did a little tinkering with the T97 flat top. We had a whole bunch of non-spent powder down in the chamber. Needed to be cleaned out. It was jamming everything up. So, and that was from that first bullet that was shoved the slug back into the casing, and it just spewed powder everywhere. So that was really giving us a hard time. It's cleaned out now, so we're going to go ahead and test these mags with it. One thing I have noticed, and I've noticed on every T97 I've fired, this being the third one I've actually handled personally, you can't jam the mags up in. You have to be kind of gentle putting them in. If you give them a tap, really give them a little bit of a tug down, just so they're going to go past. This is the MR1 mag, and it sits in there nice and loose, so there's not going to be a problem with this one, I don't think. But I'll show you on one of the other ones. It's a bit finicky if it's jammed up too high. So, if you have a T97 that's fussy on mags, you might think about buying a Benelli MR1 mag for it. This is the Elander mag, and this is one of the ones where you could have some trouble. I just jammed it up in. I'm just going to pull it down so it's still retaining, just gives a little slack, and now it should function fine. Whereas before it wouldn't even have closed the bolt. No trouble there. GI mag. And we've got a misfeed. Didn't go straight into the chamber. Seems to be some issues with the feed ramps on these. Actually, we have another one that's marred it right to pieces. This is what happened the first time. This one we haven't lost any powder. The other one, it pushed it in far enough that the powder came out the front, and it's jammed up the side of the casing as well. Now that wasn't a hollow point. I thought originally the hollow point might have been causing the problem. This is the Hera mag. As a general rule, the polymer ones are a little tighter than the T97s. So again, I'm going to pull down a little bit, make sure you don't have it jammed up all the way in. There we go. And they're definitely harder to pull out. They don't drop out freely, whereas the GI mags would. And we've got a P mag. And I'm going to pull it down just so the feed, the lips on the mag clear. No, it's hitting the mag. There we go. I had to cant it down a bit. It was catching on the lips of the mag. The bolt wouldn't move forward. And again, P-mag won't drop freely. Really got to work it out of there. So that's the T97. We'll talk about that in the tabletop. Alright guys, so we've been out here for a couple days, done some testing. I'm just going to kind of give you a quick overview of what I've found. Now, any of this is subject to change based on modifications to the gun, any changes in manufacturing, and the fact that every gun is different. So this is just my information from my experience. You can all disagree, agree, whatever you'd like, but I'll just start off that side of the table and work my way over. This is the flat top upper Norinco T97. Just got a Tasco red dot on it. I like the flat top upper. I do think it's an improvement over the carry handle version. It's got the side charge handle, which I like, except if you're going to put a side charge handle on there, any bolts that are on your optic, you might want to have them, the knobs on the other side, if at all possible, because it's very easy to, and I just did it without meaning to, it's easy to snap your knuckle on these knobs, so that can be annoying. As far as cycling, this one has a feed ramp issue. It's not uncommon for these. From what I understand, you get a good one or you don't. This one in particular, it's got some trouble. It keeps shoving the projectile back into the casing on bullets, and that's, we've tested with hollow points, we've tested with full metal jackets, 55 grain, 75 grain, steel case, brass case, all sorts of things. These seem to like the metal GI mags best because they fit a little looser. Polymer mags, you really gotta work them to get them in and pull hard to get out. So it's fussy on mags. It seems to be a little fussy on, no, I shouldn't say that. I don't think it's fussy on ammunition. The feed ramps are a problem for all ammunition from what I've seen. We ran Hornaday training rounds, police training rounds. We ran Winchester, full metal jacket, 55 grain, just regular target rounds, and we ran some Norinco 55 grain full metal jacket rounds. We ran 223 and 556 through this, and it had trouble feeding most of the time. Probably every other mag, we had something go wrong. So something to think about, guys. It's a lot less money than the Tavor or the MR1, although with the flat top upper it's getting up there close to the MR1 in cost. So again, something to think about. You might want to take your chances, or you might want to stay away. Alright guys, and this is of course another T97. This is the original without the flat top upper modification done to it. As you can see, it's still got the front post on it. As you saw earlier in the videos, this one would not cycle at all. I showed you the reasoning for that, so that's going to be something that will have to be taken apart, taken a look at. I don't know, it's very hard to find replacement parts as well for these. You can't just go, I need this pin and order it. If you can, it's not that easy to do. So again, unfortunately, it's not a good day for the Norinco T97 out here. Yesterday wasn't such a great day for it either. So next, I'm actually going to do the Benelli MR1. This thing is nice and accurate. Nice scope on this one in particular. It's comfortable. The grip, it's got a nice spongy grip on it. Mag release is absolutely horrible. They've got this little button on this side and this elongated one on this side, and let's see here, when you've got a mag in there, it's a long way to stretch to get this one, and it's a long way to stretch to get that one. It's not natural to get it to drop freely. You're kind of always working around the mag. Now, of course, it came with this mag, so you know they made it to be compatible with AR mags. So maybe we don't ding them too much based on the fact that they send you one with a base plate that you can reach. All right, so it's not so bad when you're using the factory mag, but as far as compatibility goes with the larger 30 rounders or 20 rounders, it's a pain in the rear. So just a data point, guys, take that as you will. If you're only ever going to use this mag, the mag release isn't that bad. Bolt release, horrible. If there's one reason that I would just not buy this gun personally, if I was forced to use the bolt release. that would kill me. I'd prefer just to go kind of AK style back here or over the top and charge it this way. But the bolt release on it is right in here. You can't hit it with one hand. I've got large hands and I can't reach the thing. You have to pull it down this way. My thumb, there's no way. You'd have to go weak hand and pull down. Not very natural. I don't like it. That's one of my main complaints about this gun. Again, comfort's there, accuracy's there. It's quiet, doesn't have a muzzle brake on it, which is nice. This isn't a deal breaker, but I would like it if the charge handle was about 3 times as thick. This one here is a little thinner than a pencil, where you actually nestle your finger, and it's okay, but after a few hundred rounds of shooting, it's a little hard on the hand, I guess. And I guess where it's sliding in this channel, they've got it a little loose for tolerance sake, just for smoothness, I guess, probably. It just feels a little rickety on there. Overall, great working gun. The Argos gas system works great. I've heard online that these things don't like GI mags. In my experience with this one, that these things do like GI mags and aren't great on polymer. I found it to be the opposite. This one here cycles great with the polymer mags, and the GI mags it had a little problem with. But again, every gun's different, right? So it's the Benelli Armoire 1. Good solid rifle. Got some ergonomics issues as far as I'm concerned. So. And last but not least, guys, I wanted to come to you with a low-cost alternative. I can't. I've got to show you this and tell you that my wife's going to hate me when I tell her I have to go buy a Tavor. This thing is awesome. Cycled through every mag we have. Ergonomics are just incredibly well thought out. The mag release, you don't even have to think about it. You've got your strong hand on, just reach back and grab the mag. Your finger automatically goes to the release. Really nice. The bolt release, same thing. Keep your strong arm on, strong hand on, and you just pull back. This little lever right here. I'll just hold this back. Right here. Just pull, slide the bolt forward. It's great. It's got some more depth and thickness through here than the T97, but it's so nicely rear weighted that yeah, it's really nicely balanced. Of course, it has the thumb style safety, which is something where the Norincos fall down very heavily. Safety's at the rear of the gun. I didn't mention that earlier. I should have. Benelli safety is kind of like a Remington rifle. It's through the trigger guard. Pretty natural for a hunting gun. That's not a negative at all. Something you're probably used to if you are out with any Remington rifle. But this one is more AR style in its safety. It's got this big grip right here, or a big guard. I think it could have used without that. Just you'd lose a little depth and make it a little more compact, I guess, but it's not a bad thing by any means. Got a really nice foregrip. The charge handle, you got to watch for it. Sometimes if you let your handle forward a little too lightly, it can sit there and your trigger doesn't do anything. You have to actually pop it forward and lock it. That's about the only hiccup I had, other than I think these Elander mags, these are pinned for Canada at 5 rounds. The pin should be just an 1/8 of an inch shorter or lower. It wouldn't allow for an extra round in the mag, but it would allow it to push down a little more. This doesn't like to take them when they're fully filled with 5 rounds. It's just a little tight. If you have just 4 in there, it snaps up fine. So I think that's more of a configuration of the mag type issue than the Tavor. But this thing's got rails all over it. This is the new generation, so it has the sling mounts. Great gun. Running the Trijicon ACOG on this. with the reflex sight, also Trijicon on there. It's a cool sight. The only thing that's kind of weird on this one is the reticle is canted a little bit. Now this isn't a sight you can rotate, so not quite sure how that happens, but if it's something inside that was just a little off in manufacturing, or maybe it's just my eye, but I had more than one person check it, and it looks like it is just slightly canted off to the side. It's still on. I might worry about the bullet drop compensating at different yardages, because obviously we're going to be kicked off to the side, so you might miss in that point. But this also has the tritium pop-up sights, the backup sights, which is a pretty cool feature. And this aim point does, or sorry, not aim point, this Trijicon ACOG does have the pass-through mount, but the factory hard sights are too high to use it, so you'd actually have to rip this off to use the factory iron sights. But very cool that it even comes with them. I do like that feature for sure. So if anything ever goes wrong with your optic, you've already got sights built right in. So yeah, verdict of the day, as much as I was hoping to give you guys a little bit of a different verdict and a good secondary option, you get what you pay for. I've kind of had my eyes open to Tavor at this point. I wish I'd got a Mini 14 out here for you guys. Doesn't take the same mags, but serves very much the same purpose in Canada as far as a non-restricted 5.56 rifle. If you get the ranch rifle, I had a line on one, but that fell through. Also the Keltec SU-16. They're a little harder to find, but there were a couple other options. I'd like to have had a Bushmaster ACR out for you, but from what I've got on the table here, guys, I'm going to myself have to go out and buy a Tavor. So thanks for watching, and we'll get some more videos up soon. Alright guys, so I spent a couple days at the range with these 4 rifles, and I just wanted to give you a little Cole's Notes brief overview. A couple things that maybe I didn't mention in the range videos, show you what ammo I was using, that kind of stuff. So on a whole, it wasn't a great few days for Norinco, unfortunately. I owned one myself previously, one of the carry handled versions, and I had no trouble, other than, like I mentioned in the range time videos, I had to pull down the mag to get it to properly feed, just to allow the bolt to move past the feed lips on the mags themselves. So that was a bit of an annoyance, but it cycled once I got it working. Unfortunately, this one here, the flat top upper, was just demolishing rounds as it was trying to shove them into the chamber. They were hitting the feed ramp and just crushing them. The carry handle original version of the T97, it has a problem in the spring up near the gas block where it's all jammed up. So I have to get that apart, see if I can get that straightened out. So that was single fire only. It didn't cycle at all. So there was no feed issues because there was no attempt to feed anything other than the initial round. So didn't really get to do much extensive testing with that rifle. This one unfortunately gave me plenty of problems. Really didn't matter which mag. It was a lot harder to get the polymer mags in and out. Again, we did PMag and the AR15 mag. There's a lot more friction there. They're obviously a little thicker. Yeah, they wouldn't go in very well. And the GI mags and the Elanders went in fine, but yeah, they definitely had feeding issues. And then there's a Benelli MR1 Mag, which actually ran fine through this gun. Now, I didn't use it that many times. Mainly I'd use the larger mags. But yeah, this is just, again, just an AR15 mag. Almost the size of the 10-round LAR15 mags here in Canada. But it's got the base plate on it just to match it up to the Benelli framework there. So. I used Hornaday 75 grain hollow point training rounds. These are steel cased, copper jacketed hollow points. I used some Winchester white box 55 grain full metal jacket, and some good old fashioned Norinco 5.56 ball ammo, manufactured in 1995. These are just brass cased, copper jacketed, full metal jacket. So yeah, wasn't such a great day for the T97s, of course, unfortunately. The Benelli functioned great. Short of, it did have a couple issues with the GI mags as well. And it wasn't jamming up like this one was. It was just, it would just not feed the next round. It was, I've got it on camera there, I believe. So you should have seen that already. It ran well for the most part, especially with the polymer mags. It was nice and accurate, cycles nice and quick. The Argo gas system is cool, works good. You've got a little bit of expandability for a rail here that you can buy from Benelli. That Leopold scope is awesome. Leopold Hog. Let me see. Yeah, the bolt release on this gun is the bane of its existence. Here it is. Probably didn't get a chance to really show you guys properly on the range time video. So when the bolt's back, you have to pull this down. So of course it would be up. Let me get the bolt up here. So in order to close the bolt, it's open right now. Of course, all these guns have been safety checked, guys. There's no ammo in them. Pull down. You gotta pull down fairly hard. Too hard to be able to just flick your finger on it. As you can see, my palm is right up into the grip. I wear extra large or 2XL gloves depending on the brand, and I can't get there. Not even close. I would have to go like this, and still, I'm telling you, it won't work like that. You really got to get both fingers on it and pull down, or use your weak hand to pull down on it, which I guess isn't that big of a deal, except for you've got a mag in the way, so you're lifting off, pulling back, getting up in there. I just found it easier to just reach over and use the charge handle. But there's that. Like I said, safety, no issue at all. Works fine. It's in a fine place. There's nothing wrong with that. Mag release. As long as you're using a stock Benelli mag, it's all right. You can reach up there and grab it. But if you get anything bigger than one, you're really stretched off of the button. You can't reach it. So that's annoying. Factory iron sights are really good, and this base allows you to see through them, so you can use both. Field strip on the Benelli is it's not bad. It's not horrible. You essentially take this retaining nut off. This fore end will come out. You twist off the gas. There's an enclosed spring in there. You pull out the barrel and the whole gas system at once. It's okay. There's nothing crazy complicated about it. The grip is really nice and cushy, very comfortable. Field strip on the Norincos isn't bad at all. It's toolless. Essentially, for the Benelli, you need a tool to break the spring retainer, but it's cool because this is the tool. There's a little nub on there, and it's kind of like a wrench to just pop it in the hole and twist off the screw. So that's not so bad, but these are completely toolless takedown. The retaining screws, you could just push with your finger and pop them out. No big deal. No problem at all. There and there. And then everything just kind of comes apart off the top, off the side. This pivots down, the top comes up. and the back, everything slides out. So not bad at all. That's it's not quite as intuitive as some, but it's definitely not hard to get apart or back together. The Tavor, again, like I said at the range, I wanted to come out and kind of not recommend to buy the most expensive gun on the table, because something else has got to be almost as good. But I couldn't do that in good conscience. The Tavor is the best thing on the table. Is it worth every penny? Well, we got to pay to play, I guess, right? So I've already told my wife I'm going to have one of these. And like the great spouse she is, she said, I don't want to know how much it costs. And left it at that. So hopefully you guys are as lucky as I am. As far as the takedown on the Tavor, super easy. There's a pin up here in the corner. I guess you can't see it from there. This is just field stripping, guys, so you can get more in depth, but there's a pin right here. You gotta pop out. You can use a round, or 2 to 3 round will do it. And there's 2 more pins here for your, this would be for your bolt carrier assembly. And these 2 pins are for your trigger group. You just pop them out. Everything slides out the back. It's not going to spring out on you or anything like that, like the Norincos actually do. It's really quick and easy. You can tell it was made to be serviced in the field. It's an Israeli military rifle. It's going to be well thought out. That's about the easiest way to put it. So anyway, guys, I don't want to keep you all day here. I appreciate you sticking with me through this video. I'd like to do a review on the ACOG and the Leopold. We'll see if I have time for that, but I'm not going to include those in this video. It'd just be a bit much. So, verdict of the day: if you can afford a Tavor T21, go get one. I apologize. There was a couple other rifles that I've liked to have had on this video that I wasn't able to get my hands on. Ruger Mini 14. Bushmaster ACR, Kel-Tec SU16, but this is what I could get my hands on, so I wanted to bring these to you, show you some of their features, some of their failings, and where they win. So thanks for watching. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, check me out on Facebook, and have a great day.